It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears up!
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. It's our first show of 2019, and I'm very excited to be back in the studio.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever.
It has. It has actually been forever. It's been, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Or something like that, which is really what's holding us back. Our schedule is holding us back from being on those weird, Disney awards that we talked about. I think probably in the Secret Show is when I complained about it real hard.
I think so.
It's hard enough for us to get together twice a month. I can't imagine trying to do this weekly.
We all didn't even make it.
Yeah,
Plus,
it's true. We are Terrence-less again.
I know.
It's like he doesn't even care. I pay him a whole quarter a show, and he doesn't.
Never cared.
Never cared. Yeah, there's some podcast Disney podcast awards that are like, well, we're not going to let you in the running unless you've released a show in the past 8 days. Who has time for that? Dude, apparently 125 of the podcasts that are out there have time for that. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. I don't understand. Every 8 days, or
Within 8 days
of them glancing at the Disney podcasts that are in the realm of existence.
Yeah, I guess. And then you go on iTunes or whatever, and they look at the frequency of the show. So basically, you have to be posting every week.
Hated it.
Not only do I not have time for that, I don't have any interest in doing that because I don't have enough content for that.
Yeah, do you know how
boring?
We don't have enough time to produce content for that. And to make it good. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Anybody, we can get on here and do here's our trip recap, and what's your favorite Disney memory?
Yeah.
That's our show, everybody. Thanks. And I don't know. That's not our show. Other shows do that. That's totally fine. But I don't know. I like talking about stuff.
Yeah.
You should pull down all of our old shows, chop them up, and
Part 2 will be available
release
next
them
week
in sections.
There you go.
It's crazy. But anyway, everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in today. We're going to have a good show for you, as always. It's the 2018 Year-End Rundown. Or year in review, or whatever it is. I don't know. Jeremy named it. Jeremy's making us do this.
Don't call it rundown because it makes me think of running.
Jeremy, are you there?
Yeah, it's the year-end review. That's the
year-end review.
title.
Jeremy from SpectroRadio.us.
Hang on. The year-end review, because both last year and this year I've written the year-in review.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
maybe
definitely
it is
did.
year-in review.
It could be both, you guys. It could be. Neither of them are exclusionary.
Not a word.
Did I do
My
that?
Exclusionary?
notes are titled year-end awards, so I mean, it's really anything goes here.
Okay.
Well, it's the
that's good.
2018 year-end rundown where anything goes here, and we have Jeremy from Spectro Radio filling in for Terrence. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I'm feeling refreshed. It's 2019. Let's go.
Let's go already, boys.
Yes, good
I
job, Jeremy.
have to wake up in 4 hours for a flight to Disney World.
Oh,
It's best in these situations to just not go to sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
And I would feel bad for you, except you're going to Disney World.
Yeah, don't feel bad for me.
And also, after the
100th. Fifth
fifth year,
anniversary
yeah,
show.
we know that you can do it. So
Right.
suck it up, dude.
Petros,
This is basically
Yeah.
your MO.
am I home yet? Dude, you're in my hallway. Petros. Petros, are we outside? Yes, we're on the driveway waiting for your lift. Petros.
Who called a lift?
Who does that anymore?
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
a
good.
new year.
Jeremy and I are talking about we're planning to do another live show, multi-hour show for you ladies in the room here with me.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm gonna
thanks.
have to be
Okay.
gone.
I'll be
that day.
gone.
Where Jeremy will be coming out.
No, I had so much fun. We should do it again.
So maybe like a Christmas or New Year's kind of thing or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of New Year's, Jeremy was live. He was doing some live radio
boy,
on,
that was fun.
on New Year's. Was a good time because he was on Insta live.
Hey, but was
hammered.
it okay? So I have a question actually that I haven't asked you.
All right.
I had Insta going, but then that would have been on a delay. So was it weird?
Yeah. Well, especially
I mean, it
because
was weird, but
It
was
was-
it weird?
in our
No,
house
because-
it was weird just because even on two different phones. So Jason was watching you on his phone.
That's true.
I was watching you on my phone. And if we both had the volume up, like they were at different times.
Because I would like jump back in the stream and then it would backpedal a little bit, or I don't know how it works.
But it wasn't bad weird. It literally made New Year's Eve awesome. I thought I was going to be in bed by 10:30 and then your show started and it actually like amped me up. Like I couldn't sleep that night.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, man, we counted down the new year with you.
That was
awesome.
great.
We usually try to find some stupid. First of all, the New Year's Eve stuff that they broadcast with the ball dropping and everyone waiting in the Times Square in adult diapers and standing in their own filth, like that.
Yeah.
It's always just seemed really boring to me. And Jeremy starts counting, and I'm like, "What's he do? What's this crazy kid doing, dude?" And Taryn's like, "I think it's almost." And we look at the clock, and our clock said midnight already. And I'm like, "Oh. Hey, look at that. We rung in the new year." And it was a lot of fun, man. It was cool. We cheers with you, and it was a good time. So I hope you keep doing that. And I will say, for live radio, keeping up with the flow, I think you did a very good job. And I hope you do more of that kind of stuff, honestly.
I was only
I
in for like
plan to do more. I didn't know how to do live for a long time, and I figured it out like literally like December 30th. And I was like, wait a minute, I know what I can do.
Well, you're smart.
And then I didn't want to get off the mic that night. It was 3 a.m. here. I was like, I got to cut this.
I didn't want to get off Instagram Live. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really want to stay, but we were tired. I'm like, I gotta go.
I had guests at my house, but believe me, I wanted to keep watching.
It was
Well,
a good time.
more to
man.
come. Next year, definitely a New Year's celebration.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be a good time. And then you did some live jazz for a jazz hour that you're doing.
Well, that was the springboard into a jazz brunch now.
That's right.
So I was like, well, I can now do a live. I had been thinking about doing just a jazz show. Like there's all shows that I do on the station. And I was thinking of doing like just an hour of jazz, Disney jazz covers and jazz area music from around the parks. And then I was like, well, maybe I could host it and then maybe give some info about the music. And then I started with like, oh, maybe I could give out brunch stuff. I don't know. It just and now I think I'm going to have some guests coming through. You said you'd come on, and so I think hopefully it'll be a cool thing.
Yeah. Hey, man, I think it's a great idea. I think you should do more of that because I think you were good.
Thanks. Thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'm totally lying. This episode of Lies and Deceit is brought to you by Getaway Today, Disney's top wholesale partner. They'll help you plan your Disney vacation with the best tips and secrets, all while making it affordable with their discounted tickets. Head online to getawaytoday.com/earsup and start planning your magical vacation. Tell them Earzup sent you and use code Earzup to save an extra $10 on your SoCal vacation package. Now, we all know, we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth, that Disneyland raised their prices again recently. But the fine folks at Getaway Today have, I guess, a contract in place or a deal or whatever. So now through January 15th, you can still get tickets at the current pricing before the price raise.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you buy a two-day park, you save $22 a ticket. If you buy a 5-day park ticket, you save $40. So if you're planning to go at all this year, go to getawaytoday.com/earsup and buy your tickets before the 15th of January.
That's
and
awesome.
you say you're saving money, dude. That's
You're saving a lot of money.
Yeah.
at this point.
$22. That's a lot, dude. That's almost a Sunday.
Well, and it's $22 a ticket. You have
Yeah.
4 tickets that you have to buy. That's $100.
No, I know. I'm
almost.
being facetious at the prices of Disneyland, really.
Oh,
But yeah, it's hey man, it's no joke. So check it out. Alrighty, too many tabs open on this stupid computer. Oh, speaking of computers, I officially bought a new broadcast computer today. I bought one
Wow.
on the internet
on the internet.
because 100% because of Patreon supporters. So hopefully we're going to be able to do better streaming video.
Yeah.
Yes, my cat is laying on my wrist right now, so there's that. It's really all the money is going to go to babysit my cat. I'm going to be one of those people who like leaves their wealth and fortune to the cat as long as the cat is well taken care of.
Right.
I don't know if cats can live on $20 a year, but no, but anyway, if you're not a Patreon supporter, if you would please consider it, go to patreon.com/earsup, sign up for at least our $5 a month. You get the secret show. We have a $2 a month, whatever you want to do, more than that. But it helps us push the show forward. And so hopefully
Yeah.
the computer will be able to give us better video. We can do different stuff. We can do some cool graphics. We're planning ahead. 2019 is going to be pretty big for us, and it's 100% because of the Patreon people. So if you're not a Patreon supporter, that's fine. You don't have to be. The show's free. But if you want to be a part of something cool, that's where you go.
Well, and don't be, if you are watching, don't be deceived by all the computers you see, because I'll just say somebody in this room is illegally using their work computer.
Actually,
so
I don't know who it is.
Two people are illegally using their work computer.
So
That's why we had to do it.
That's why we're replacing it. It's not because we just figure we need a fourth computer in this room.
Yeah.
It's,
I actually thought you were talking about me, and then I was like, oh, wait.
I was.
Yeah.
Right. No, you totally are. Jason, put your computer away.
I'm sorry. Anyway, that's what we're all about. You go on social media. Well, hey, we're there too. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. If you have feedback on the show, it goes to Taryn at earsup-podcast.com. This is email, by the way. Any show suggestions, it goes to Terrence at earsup-podcast.com. You can say hi. To Bev, I guess, to Bev Burns, Mr. Burns. And you can send anything else to me at jason@earsup-podcast.com. You can support the show. Again, Patreon. Go to getcoviers.com if you want to buy some coviers. We have an Etsy page. Look Coviers up on Etsy, and you can find all our T-shirts there, different sizes. But most importantly, tell your friends about us. If you're online, if you're on Reddit or whatever, and people are asking all the time, what's the best Disney podcast? Just please push us out there. That'd be a good thing to do. Don't forget about our internet page. What do they call it? A website? I think a web city.
I was like, what are you talking about?
No, check out our webpage. It has been redesigned. Our friend...
It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Our friend Evan, who's a WordPress master, I will tell you that right now. He's like, dude, what's wrong with your site? I'm like,
everything.
I'm like,
What's wrong with your site? Yes.
Taryn did it.
It's all my fault.
No, but check it out if you wouldn't mind. Give us some feedback. If stuff's hard to find or not working or whatever, let us know. But we're trying to get brought up into 2019. Our site is secure now. And, trying to do a bunch of stuff. We're trying to promote Heather's blog post. The lovely Heather's writing a bunch of food stuff for us, and that's a good time. Excuse me. Don't worry, I'll edit that out. It'll be fine. Let's see. Before we get into the show, I want to tell you guys real quick about our Christmas making gumbo, because I think it's a good story.
Yes.
So by far, our most popular blog post on the site is the Disneyland gumbo recipe.
Just edit that out.
Yeah, don't worry
Fine,
about it.
excuse me.
I'll edit that out, but I won't edit you asking me to edit it out.
Perfect.
And it's not a real long story. Maybe it's super boring, but I don't know. I wanted to start this tradition somehow. I don't know why, about making gumbo on Christmas Eve. I think it's really fun. I think it'd be kind of cool. And so I'm like, well, of course I'm going to make the Disneyland gumbo recipe. That's totally fine. I went to the store. I'm buying a bunch of stuff for the kid, whatever. And oops, I deleted that. And I'm looking on my phone at our recipe. I'm going, oh, it's a bell pepper and an onion. I know we have rice and flour, and it's kind of it. It's all you need. I mean, whatever, right? Actually, that recipe calls for like vegetable stock, and I knew we had some, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. But I forgot that the way that I wrote the recipe was to make the rice first. And I had to scroll down for the actual recipe for like tomato paste and, like important stuff and I know that it's not really technically gumbo. So anybody from the South who says like, that's not, I know it's not gumbo. It's not. Yeah, I get it, but it's Disneyland gumbo and it's fine. So I'm like, I'm cutting everything up and I'm making everything and I'm like, Taryn, I don't have tomato paste. I'm ready to throw everything against the wall because I get irrationally angry. And Taryn's like, I'll just go to the store. And this is Christmas Eve.
I was going to say on Christmas Eve.
And it's like 7:30 or so because we don't really make dinner till the baby's asleep. So it's about 7:30. And and he's like. He was just ready to be done.
So you're going to the store.
We're nothing. So we go to the store. So I go out to the store. I go to Rayleigh's first. They are closed. So I go, okay, well, like one street over is a Lucky. So I go to Lucky's. closed.
We are pretty, I don't want to say blessed, but we're pretty lucky in the fact that we live within a 15-minute drive of 3 grocery stores.
Yeah. And 2 of them are really right next to each other. So I hit those 2. They were both closed. And I was like, oh, now he's really going
Because I didn't have tomato paste. This recipe calls for it. I didn't have multiple bell peppers. And that was really it. Those 2 ingredients I really needed. And I was like, well.
Like everything else could have been substituted in some way.
Yeah.
And so I'm leaving the store and I'm like, that sucks. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, maybe 7-Eleven? Sometimes they have produce. Like, I'm like racking my brain.
Can you imagine
And
7-Eleven for bell peppers?
That would be amazing. Also
Well,
gross.
And so I'm at
You need a straw.
I'm at the stoplight, and across the street there's only one building that has any lights on, and it's Round Table. And I think to myself,
Shut
Bloody Round Table.
so I'm like sitting at this red light thinking to myself, like, okay, one, am I brave enough to go in there and ask them for these things?
Wait,
Taryn,
what is Round Table? We don't know what that is always.
Are you
Oh.
serious?
it's a
No,
pizza
that's
place.
It
unheard
must
of.
not be
Oh.
nation
Oh, it's a pizza place.
Yeah.
tragic for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's good pizza. It's expensive pizza.
It's expensive.
But I'll tell you what, it's the last honest pizza,
It is the last honest pizza.
which is their slogan.
So
Round Table. Google it.
So I muster up the courage. I cross the street. I go over there, and I'm like planning in my head what I'm gonna say. And so I
Because and to clarify, you're about to enter a pizza place and ask for tomato paste and bell peppers.
yeah
And that's it.
yeah that's it. That's all I want. And so
So of course you have to plan out what you're going to say because that is imagine
That's actually insane. You're
Yeah.
an insane person.
no. And so pretty much that's what I told them. I was like,
I'm
look,
crazy.
I like walked in, and it's like these 2 teenagers.
Oh
and
gosh, even better. This old lady.
I know. Seriously, they're like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like,
probably
like-
high. Like whatever, dude.
I was like, and they were literally minutes from closing. Like they were closing the cash register when I walked in. So they already hated me.
Right.
And I just walked in. I was like, look, I have the weirdest request ever. Like,
But will you shave my head, please?
I was like, I need a couple bell peppers and some tomato paste. I was like, I know. And they were like, we don't really have that. And I was like, well, I'll pay for a pizza. And just don't give me the pizza. Give me the thing. And
You can imagine paying $30 for a little thing of tomato paste.
She was desperate.
Yeah.
So anyway, what they ended up doing was really cool. They just gave me like a salad bar thing. They told me to fill it up with the salad bar stuff, and then they gave me they didn't actually have tomato paste, but they had pizza sauce.
Marinara or whatever.
So she comes home with these tiny little containers of pizza sauce. Hey, why not, man? It's
Whatever,
Christmas Eve
dude.
gumbo. I just threw it in, and and I'm justifying it. Like, well, that's just kind of like the history of gumbo. Like, you just have a bunch of stuff and you throw it together, whatever. So we made it our own, and it actually came out pretty good. I was pretty
It was
happy
not
with
bad,
it.
and I was very proud of myself.
I think that's a great
So
story.
Taryn saved Christmas gumbo. What
I tried.
do you think of that, Jeremy?
I love it. I have to tell you that I have dreams about that gumbo you guys made for the 5th anniversary show.
Oh, really?
I miss
Damn.
that gumbo.
That's the
Wow.
Disneyland gumbo on the recipes on our site, man. Check it out.
It was
We actually
so
have
good.
feedback about it today.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, Taryn, do we have any feedback?
Hey, we do.
Nice.
We actually have quite a lot today.
Hell yeah.
Beginning of the year, lots of things to say. Okay, the first one is from Ray. Hi,
Hello.
Bev.
Hi.
Until you said that you always take a picture under the Beverly sign in Hollywoodland, I never realized that it was actually there.
Well, now you found the coolest place at Disneyland.
Love the show. We are relatively new as we started on the 5th anniversary show
Oh, wow.
and have.
oh, well, that was ambitious.
I
And you
know.
continue. Hey, let's check out this new podcast. 5-hour show.
Seriously.
Crazy, Ray.
But he says he's burned through all of 2018 and most of
Oh,
2017.
damn.
Just recently became a Patreon supporter
No, Ray. You are the real MVP, Ray. Thank you very much, dude.
and he's thoroughly enjoying the secret shows. Happy New Year, and here's to more of your fantastic content.
Oh, wow. That's
Oh,
very nice.
Very nice. This one is from William. I love your idea about the Muppets take over Disneyland, which I believe you talked about
Yeah.
in the 5th anniversary show.
That's me, baby. Where everything is just themed Muppets.
I was just too drunk for that. I don't remember.
I didn't remember either, but
If we do a 3-hour Christmas show, I'm bringing Brad back.
oh yeah,
Oh, heck
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh, Brad, yes.
Brad.
Sorry.
We'll do a 3-hour regular show and a 12-hour secret show.
Yeah, that's where we made our mistake last time.
Excuse me.
He says, and coincidentally, I saw a YouTube video by Defunctland, which was all about when the Muppets almost did take over Disneyland.
Oh.
Apparently, your mind is on the same level as some of the geniuses running our favorite park.
That's what I'm trying to tell everybody, just in general.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He also says, hi, Bev.
Hi.
This next one is from Amy. And
Hello,
this is a
Amy.
bit older. I happened to come across it. It's from September, but I blame Alice because I think I wasn't in the room, so we accidentally skipped feedback.
Ah, okay.
And this was
Don't
actually
worry, I'll ground her.
yes,
Right.
she's on restriction. Hey guys, a friend of mine, also an Earzup listener, is planning her trip to Disney World later this year, and she was telling me about the hassle of planning the trip. She's having to book fast passes like 2 months in advance and at 3:30 in the morning, which seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
I've never been to Disney World, and I was curious, so I looked it up on Google Maps, and I was confused and shocked at how spread out it all is. I couldn't even tell where the parks were in the sea of green when I was looking. So I would like to make a show topic suggestion.
Ah.
Appreciate
Oh,
it.
nice.
Could you do one on the history of Disney World? Maybe talk about the differences between Disneyland and Disney World and some of the logistical challenges. Maybe also cover how it was planned and why everything is so insanely spread out. Aren't you guys planning a trip there as well? Maybe Jeremy has some insight as it's on his coast. Thanks for being awesome.
I know we've hit those topics, but I think it's been spread out over a couple of shows.
Yeah,
We could do something just on that. We could probably put something together later this
I think
year.
that we should talk about planning for a trip there because it is complicated.
Well, we did talk to Christy Fredericks, I believe, and she wrote a book on that a couple years ago, maybe 2016, possibly. It is complicated, and you're right. You have, if you want any reservations at restaurants, you got to get on that right when your window opens, which is very, very annoying.
That is super annoying.
Yeah, it's not fun. That part was not fun. And then the fast passes, like we had to book fast passes for rides. We had no idea what they were,
Yeah.
which kind of also made it a little easier, honestly, because like I don't know anything about this. Let's go.
We should just make Jeremy do this show.
Well, so here's the thing. The history of Disney World would not be one episode.
That's
There's
true.
so much. In like what it was meant to be Disney World was called the experimental prototype community of tomorrow before Epcot Center was ever invented. I will tell you though, I mean, I made dinner reservation. I'm going down tomorrow. I made dinner reservations 5 days ago and got what I wanted. So it's not always. It may be during certain times of the year.
Yeah, or
It's
depending
harder
on
to get
depending
things,
on what
but, like,
restaurant you
this
want to go
isn't-
to.
It's not always like that, and there's so many restaurants. You'll find someplace to eat.
Okay.
That's true.
So not to worry. Maybe
Yeah.
we should do a show and we'll set people's minds at ease.
That's
I
what it's
like
called.
that.
Setting your mind at ease with
Yeah.
Jeremy and Jason. And it's just us.
Right. Just
Have
you
some
two.
candles, some
Oh, it could be a
wine.
spin-off show.
That's
Oh,
right.
very nice.
Some
I like it.
jazz.
Yeah, I need some spin-off shows for sure.
Okay, and our last feedback is from Ashley. This is the Disneyland gumbo recipe, and she wrote in
yeah.
on the 1st of January. So
Nice. Look at that New Year's email, dude.
New Year's email. I just tried this recipe tonight. I must say, I am highly impressed with how close it is to the Disneyland version. Bought some homemade bread bowls and everything.
Hell yeah.
This is absolutely a must try if you are a Disney fan. Best gumbo I've ever had.
Wow. Yeah, it's the recipe from the park. Like that's the recipe.
Yeah.
So
We weren't guessing there.
But you know what? Make it your own.
Yeah.
Try it out a little bit. Add some
We put sausage.
add some whatever. Change some stuff. Add pizza sauce.
Add pizza sauce.
Don't add pizza sauce. It was fine. It was fine. But good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying that recipe, man. It's I think the most popular. I thought for sure the skeletons of Pirates of the Caribbean would be our most popular. And some people hate it because they don't believe us, and some people love it. But like the gumbo recipe by far is
Yeah.
the most popular thing we've ever posted
Across all
everywhere.
the socials.
Yeah,
Apparently.
everywhere. All right, let's get into some 2018 year in rundown.
Love it.
Now, Jeremy, this is something Jeremy's been pushing.
Yeah.
Because it's just a lot of work.
Like a boulder up a hill.
That's right.
Which is kind of silly that we fought him because it wasn't the most.
It really wasn't
No,
that
it's-
hard.
Not hard.
No, not really. So Terrence is not here, of course, but I did make him do homework. So I do have his stuff.
Good.
Wait, no, that's the wrong email. So do you want to go through the 17 stuff first? You guys want to like just do a recap of the stuff that we did last year?
Everything or just like our predictions?
Oh, we could do predictions.
Because I didn't.
Jeremy, do you have your
I
predictions
don't have
there,
everything,
homie?
but
I don't remember. Oh, I do remember what my prediction was. Yeah.
I don't even remember this show from last
Yeah,
year.
I don't think Bev did it.
You weren't on it.
Bev wasn't on it, but I sent
No.
you all the predictions, Jason.
Okay. I mean, I have. Oh, you sent me everybody's?
Yep.
Oh.
Thank God I wasn't on it because I was like, am I crazy?
Okay.
That was
Well,
a
here
great-
we go.
You could really mess with Beth like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, and I'm so gullible.
Like,
I'd be
wow, I
like,
can't believe you didn't.
What?
Yeah, that's so rude, man. Can you imagine? So just to remind everybody, we just have 7 or 8 categories where we just kind of make some brief, hypothesis on what's going to happen. But it's biggest Disney winner, biggest Disney loser, most boring, most underrated Disney attraction, most overrated Disney attraction, yada yada yada. But at the end, we have predictions for the current year. So last year, our predictions for 2018 were as follows. Taryn predicted that Jason and I will find some dumb reason to renew our passports, even though we aren't planning on it.
Done.
Nailed it.
Turns out having a kid is that dumb reason.
Yeah.
So that came true. Good job.
Thank you.
Terrence said, number 1, Goofy's Sky School will be rethemed to Cool Runnings.
Hasn't happened yet.
That's stupid, but I love it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, where's this single rider lane? Right near the beach. But in all seriousness,
No clue.
no clue. Yeah, Jeremy, you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what Cool Runnings is. I've seen it.
What?
Yep.
Shocking.
Wow.
Mhm.
I have a game that I want to play during the secret show where it's
Has Jeremy seen it?
yeah,
No.
Yeah.
where it's
No.
like a list of like the top 50 most influential or some list that either I make up or whatever, and then we take bets in the studio. And I'm talking hard dollars. Like you guys are
Hard
going to
dollars,
come with
okay.
10 $1 bills and we're going to make bets if Jeremy has seen a certain movie or not.
I kind of love it.
Yeah, I like
It's
it.
going to be amazing, right?
It's not a bad idea.
It's pretty good. We're going to get ham. No, I'm kidding. So Terrence's honest prediction was with the acquisition of Fox, Disney might actually have some good TV shows on now.
No.
I still don't know of any.
Well, I don't know of any either.
I mean, unless you count are there any FX shows that are good?
Well, but
Still?
see, Jeremy, maybe you know because you're smart. I don't think that Fox deal has necessarily been completed yet.
It hasn't. It's still under government review.
Okay.
Ah.
And then
And it's
Jeremy.
being challenged in China, actually, legally.
No,
Oh.
of course. Jeremy says by 2021, Magic Kingdom will get some kind of nighttime electrical parade back, which isn't really a prediction for
I
2019.
know. He kind of cheated.
Yeah.
I know.
Here's
The
mine.
jury's still out.
Jeremy is still out. Here's mine. Bold prediction. Like coming way out of left field. Ticket prices will rise this year.
yeah.
Wow. That's you got it right.
Way to step out on a limb there, Jason.
Yeah, but here's a good one. Disney will take its foot off the Star Wars gas pedal.
Yeah, you were also correct about that.
I was correct
Calm
about
down.
that. Yeah,
I know.
knocking
Also
my
chill
mic
out.
over in celebration. I was correct about that. Iger has come out and said we're gonna slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Vindication. And then I said Hulu will start to stream more Disney stuff. I don't know if it happened. I don't really.
We don't
care.
have Hulu.
All right. We don't have Hulu. Okay, so let's hit this year in review, guys, for 2018.
Okay.
Let's start with the biggest Disney winner of 2018. Jeremy, go ahead and hit us with that, please.
Okay, I think the biggest Disney winner of 2018 is Disney or our Disney hourly employees wanting to get their full college tuition paid for. As many as 80,000 employees could be eligible for a program that will pay upfront tuition for employees. The company expects to invest $50 million in the program known as Disney Aspire in its first year and $25 million in its second year.
Wow.
Look at you with coming in with the research and everything.
I didn't do that.
Oh, I have research. I can't
Jeremy's
have to
like
back
the-
up my assertion.
He's like the guy that sets the curve.
I know. He sits in the front and then he sets the curve at 100 and you're like, just
Thanks.
go. Just get out of here.
I do that too, but it's only because I've been held back in that class for 3 years in a row. So I know all the answers.
Fair.
War of 1812. Can I have a smoke break?
War of 1812 is my biggest loser. That's funny.
Let's do Terrence's. You want Terrence's?
Yeah.
Sure.
Biggest Disney winner of 2018, Pixar Pier.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he said the area has been
He's
renovated
weird.
and completely connected an area that was known for 2 attractions. Now there's a fantastic flow to the area and great visuals. First of all, relax, Property Brothers. Like, it's not, there's a fantastic flow. There's a
like he's
fantastic
here.
energy to the room.
Gosh, he's totally real estating it.
Also, Disney proved that its guests will pay extra to get a sneak peek at a new land within the parks. Plan on seeing this with the opening of Star Wars Land and all subsequent new areas.
Barf.
Bev, why don't you go?
Biggest Disney winner? Disney itself.
No wonder
Nobody is.
Why did you snap and then point at me
Nobody
for
is loving
emphasis?
Disney as much as Disney is loving itself right now.
That's a good point.
That's true.
I get that. Taryn?
My biggest Disney winner of 2018 was our 5th anniversary show.
So we were the
Oh.
biggest Disney winner?
For me.
Okay. Man, I like that a lot. It's very much.
That's my answer for the biggest Disney loser.
Have you heard our 5th anniversary show? For me, biggest Disney winner 2018, Disney itself.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I actually had
Are
that.
you serious?
Well, because they had
Hell yeah.
high five it. Well, because in February they had the price increases.
Wow.
Star Wars Land coming out. I mean, there's no way the company can
They are
miss.
feeling themselves.
They're feeling themselves. Everything is more expensive. All the price increases, not even just the ticket prices, but the food,
My
concessions, merch seem to more expensive. Everything is just more expensive in the park, and that's gonna create the win right there.
Wow.
Stock prices, income.
We did not
It's huge.
communicate
I
about
am
this.
just so impressed that you guys both picked the same thing.
It was actually really. It was the easy way out. Jeremy, go ahead and give us the biggest Disney loser of 2018 in your opinion. Please go.
Okay, it's going to be another mouthful.
All right.
It's the biggest Disney loser of 2018 is Johnny Depp.
Oh, burn.
The
Huge
55-year-old
slam.
character who has appeared in 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies spanning the last 15 years will no longer be featured in the franchise as Disney looks to reboot the long-running film series against a backdrop of diminishing returns on the films. Depp routinely earned $20 million upfront payment for his film since the 2003 debut of Pirates, but despite such income, has in recent years run into financial difficulty amidst several lawsuits, combined with reports of lavish spending, including $3 million to launch Hunter S. Thompson's ashes out of a cannon and a $30,000 per month wine bill. So not
Dude.
very good timing for Mr. Depp.
How many boxes of wine do you think Johnny Depp consumes a day?
I think his blood is actually just wine,
You know
but
he-
it's totally fine. I'm
you
good
know
with it.
he's popping $600 bottles of wine.
Oh, yeah.
For like
'Cause you
well,
can.
at breakfast. Yeah, I mean, why not, man? If you're getting $20 million up front, I heard somewhere that he got paid $90 million in the last Pirates movie.
Well, that movie was a turd.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why he's not going to be around anymore.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
the
why
last
not?
one.
He's
Actually, the last
bankrupt,
one I
that's
didn't
why.
hate that much.
I don't even
The one
remember.
before that I hated.
They're all the same. They're wacky. He gets into a wacky problem, and then he's wacky to save the. Bev, why don't you go ahead? Biggest Disney loser.
The employees of Downtown Disney.
Oh, ouch.
Slam, dude.
Also true.
Wow. Let's go, Terrence. Well, I feel the biggest Disney loser of 2018, Jason. You're very handsome, by the way. I want to point that out to you. You're looking very svelte. With the closure of Bugs Land, he says DCA is the biggest loser. The park's flow is terrible. He loves flow.
Hustle and flow.
Hustle and Flow. His favorite show. There's no longer a walk-through area from Tower to Cars Land, and the congestion trying to get through Hollywood Land is horrible.
I agree. That's true. 100%. That is true, but
Yeah.
that's not why. Whatever.
Taryn, go ahead, please.
I have 3,
Oh, my God. You know, it's biggest Disney loser.
but I don't have explanation, so it's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one is John Lasseter.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
The second one is calling it Galaxy whatever instead of Star Wars Land.
Right.
That was stupid.
That's a loser.
That's a loser.
Okay. The name is a loser.
Whoever-
I see where her brain
Whoever
was.
named it is a loser. And then the last one is, I don't know the name of it, but Terrence's egg-based drink on The Secret Show.
I can't say what it's
No.
called on this show.
You Secret Show fans, you know what I'm talking about.
That was so nasty.
All right, mine. The
John
guests.
Lasseter's Victims.
Yeah, that's right. No, Disneyland guests are the biggest losers
yeah.
of 2018.
We are.
No kidding.
Not that we are losers, but we lost
Yeah.
in the struggle against the dollar versus mouse per square foot or whatever. Everything's expensive. There's a lot of park closures. They gutted downtown Disney and then backed off. Disney's playing a lot of head games with the city. They're playing head games with us. And I feel like...
it's a little shady.
Yeah,
It's a little shady.
and we're not getting the entertainment for the dollar that I think we're used to.
Totally.
So that's my opinion. Jeremy, did you do one? You did.
Yeah,
All right.
Johnny Depp.
I'm keeping. It's hard for me to keep track because I have a cat here. Let's go most boring. I'm going to start this one out. Okay.
Okay.
For me, the most boring thing for Disney for 2018 live action remakes. I'm bored with them. I'm tired of them. It's just we have this thing in the closet. Let's blow the dust off it and shine it up and then repackage it, resell it.
Yeah, but Dumbo looks real good.
Dumbo looks good, but that's about it. I don't know. Like Mary Poppins, couldn't care less.
Oh, I super want to see Mary
Yeah,
Poppins.
I'm excited
Aladdin,
about it.
don't care.
Abby loved Mary Poppins. She went and saw it already.
Without you?
Did she like it?
She loved it.
Did she like it better than the first one? I guarantee you,
I don't.
all of these
probably.
remakes, nobody will like them better than the originals. I guarantee you.
I think the younger kids will.
No.
I don't know. She really liked it.
Younger
She
kids
really
shouldn't be
likes-
watching
She
movies.
really likes the old one though.
You can't actually. You shouldn't be allowed to watch a movie unless you're like 48.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
just weird.
I'm breaking the law. Jeremy, what's the most boring thing?
California Adventure without World of Color.
Oh.
Really? Toy Story ride? You don't drinking? There's no.
After 6 o'clock, I'm out. You don't have World of Color. I got nothing else left to do there.
All right, Taryn.
My most boring is Disney Plus.
Why is it boring? It's not even out.
I know.
Okay.
But it's called Disney Plus. Like they couldn't come up with a better name. Like it's already boring.
Okay.
she's not wrong.
Damn, man. Hot takes. All right, Taryn. I mean, Beverly.
Beverly.
Whatever, dude.
I went with rides.
Just
So,
in general?
Just in general. No, not just rides, but I chose two.
Okay.
Autopia for obvious reasons. And don't come at me for this one,
Okay.
but Casey Jr.
Oh, bro, come on. When was the last time you rode Casey Jr.?
Several years ago, and it was not long enough ago.
Ride it again.
Yeah.
Try it.
So I can stand in line for 40 minutes to ride a choo-choo train?
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Has something to do to where choo-choo go. Terrence says the most boring, and this, if he was here, I would reach back into last week. I swear to God. Monsters, Inc. ride.
He's the worst.
Yeah,
He is-
I agree.
Jeremy's
Jeremy,
now the
you're
worst.
the worst.
Anybody that agrees with Terrence is the worst.
Here's what he says. It's cute. I get it. Honestly, the ride isn't cute enough to a repeatable ride for me anymore. It's time to remodel and rebrand that whole area.
The worst thing
No.
the worst thing about that Monsters Inc. ride is where it's located.
Yeah, because there's nothing around it now. And they have that huge overflow queue. Nobody's ever, I mean, they could do something with that area because it's never more than a 10-minute wait. But I love that ride. I think it's great.
I do too. And and it was like a nice little surprise because I had been to Disneyland like 5 times and I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, we just started recently going a couple years ago on that ride. I had no idea.
And like the
In fact, I
sushi
think
place.
we discovered it all together.
Probably.
Yeah.
On the same
Yeah.
trip.
And like the sushi thing with all the smells. It's so cute.
Yeah. Garner Holt worked on a lot of those.
My thing about that ride is this is weird. It smells like dish detergent.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
it's supposed to.
They have different smells.
Why?
Well, it's like Soren used to do until
Like,
everything broke.
It's sanitary.
So
They're sanitizing.
yeah, in some places, but like
Apparently
if you go through the sushi place, it smells like pickled ginger, or if you're in the locker room, it smells like deodorant because he's button-on deodorant.
Mm,
It's a 4D thing, dude. You wouldn't get it.
right.
Over here on the West Coast, we're feeling things, dude. You guys are just stuck in 3D over there.
It's true.
Who else has the most boring?
I think that was
That was all of us.
Next.
Did I do mine?
You started it.
Oh, jeez. I'm stupid. Most underrated Disney attraction. I'm going to start with this one. Monsters, Inc.
Fair.
Can I go next?
Go ahead.
Casey Jr.
Bev?
Going to the park and not riding rides.
Ooh. Underrated Disney attraction is the park sans
Is the
rides.
park itself sans rides.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a lot to. You could fill a day.
It's true.
I think we've done a show on that. If
We
not,
did.
we should do another one.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, someone doesn't have
Wow.
their phone turned. Jeremy, what's your most underrated Disney attraction, Bray?
Epcot Center's Living with the Land.
Huh. That one was pretty cool.
No,
liked
I
it.
was thoroughly bored. You like take this boat ride and there's just a bunch of farm stuff that has been there for years, but nobody ever implements, and it's just this showcase of what could have been, I guess.
But you got to see like plants growing like sideways.
Okay.
I'd never seen that before. That was cool.
They're still doing research there. They partner with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. There is a laboratory. They're showcasing what they're doing. It's the one ride that like it's almost unchanged since 1982 in terms of the flow of it and the look of it. And it still is the entertaining, educating part of Epcot that still survives today. And I think it doesn't get a lot of credit.
Okay.
But I think it's amazing. It's my favorite ride.
All right, Bill Nye, I got you. You know what would be cooler though is if you could go into those labs and like get like a walking tour of what they're doing. That would be
It's
much
called
cooler.
the Behind the Seeds walking tour, and you can.
Oh,
Perfect.
oh, all right. Petros.
Petros.
Terrence says the most underrated Disney attraction is the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. I raced my nephews to this area and had an absolute blast. Great for kids of all ages, and there's never anyone there.
That's true. That place is pretty cool. And there's a lot of shade.
There's a lot of shade. There's a lot of stuff to do. Absolutely. Taryn, why don't you start with the most overrated Disney attraction? And I'm gonna let's take a bet as how many of us are gonna have the same ride.
I don't
Or the
think I
same
will.
thing.
I think that
I'm gonna say at least 3 of us are gonna have the same
Okay.
thing.
Three of us will.
Go ahead.
I think mine is very controversial.
Okay.
I think that right
Disneyland.
now the Tiki Room is overrated.
Ooh.
Shame.
Wow.
Look,
Turn her mic
look.
off.
And I don't even like it that much.
I know. Well, okay.
But overrated?
Here's the thing.
Wow.
It's not that I don't like it. I like the ride, but
All right, Bev, what do you have to say? I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I kind of feel like everybody's like, because of kind of the tiki resurgence, everyone's like gung ho about it now. And you go and you sit in it and it's cool for a little kid, but it's also like the coolest part is that you're indoor. Like the songs kind of get old. I'm kind of
Any
like
port in a storm, I guess.
this
The
could be
people
like
singing it are kind of
yeah,
annoying.
it's just I actually prefer the outside of the ride to the the attraction to the attraction itself.
Huh.
I think it's overrated. That's all.
God, I'm shocked at not only your pick, but your reasoning. Beverly, go ahead, please.
Oh, Peter Pan. It's my favorite ride, but it's so overrated, and I just want everybody to stop riding it.
But if it's your favorite
Jesus.
ride, how could it be overrated?
Because
It
it's
doesn't make any
not
sense.
well, because it's everybody's favorite ride, and I love it, and I understand it, and it's nostalgia. But also, there's not a single part of that ride that's worth the amount of wait that you actually wait to ride it.
Okay. Mine is, let me wait for this to load, Peter Pan as well.
Oh,
It's not my favorite ride. It's cute, but in my opinion, it's no different than Snow White or Pinocchio. It's a classic dark ride. It has this. Actually, I like Snow White better than Pinocchio. I prefer Snow White better than Peter Pan. Yeah, I get it. You're flying over the thing, cool, but it's not that cool, and it's definitely never cool enough for the amount of time
it's never
that you're
worth
waiting
it,
in line. It's never,
especially
worth
when the ride breaks down and you decide to stay. 'Cause you're stupid.
it. Yeah, Jeremy, go ahead, please.
Well, first, Jason is right.
Ah, hell yeah.
But my most overrated attraction was the Dole Whip Donut that came out
Nasty.
in the
Good one.
springtime.
Damn,
It
dude.
made quite a stir. It was on Instagram and on Twitter, but I can tell you firsthand, it was better for tweeting than it was for eating.
Oh,
Wow.
Nice.
yeah.
Damn, dude. This is
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Terrence's is also Peter Pan.
Oh, wow.
He said 90 plus minutes wait for this attraction. Get out of my face.
Can Terrence get out of my face?
Get out of my face. Miss me with that is what the kids say these days. I agree. I agree with the man. What are we going to do? This one is called Sad to See You Go. Now, this is attractions that got axed or Imagineers that died or whatever. Sad to see you go. Jeremy, what were you sad to see go last year?
A gentleman by the name of Richard Girth, the greeter at Disney World's Grand Floridian Resort, died at the age of 92 after nearly 30-year career with the company. According to George A. Kalogridis, president of Walt Disney World, quote, with his trademark smile, a twinkle in his eye, and a tip of his straw boater hat to everyone he met, Richard Girth was an indelible part of millions of Walt Disney World memories, and we will all miss him greatly.
Kalogridis, very Greek. Very Greek last name.
Yes.
And, when Taryn and I went to the Grand Floridian, I saw him there. We saw him, and I didn't understand what he was, doing there. And I remember now, I was like, I'm going to go up and ask him what he's doing. Not in a mean way, but hey, what are you, you're clearly in a period kind of costume. I don't know, I don't understand. But I was nervous talking to the nice old man because he looked really sweet.
He looked so sweet.
He looked very happy to be there.
He's a lovely guy. I have a picture with him from 13 years ago. But you could in Christmas time he would roast chestnuts outside of the hotel to give to guests.
That's amazing.
Wow.
He's iconic part of that hotel.
Oh, I hope they build a statue.
Taryn wants him to take over. Taryn, go ahead. What were you sad to see go?
I was sad to see Run Disney go from Disneyland.
I know, dude.
That sucked.
Yeah.
Because I actually enjoyed it. I never thought I'd enjoy running. Now I'm never going to exercise again. So
That's right. I really do want them to bring it back.
yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't. It makes no sense for them to keep it gone. But
Bev, go ahead, please.
I'm changing mine very last minute because I just thought of it.
All right.
But originally it was the theater in Bugs Land.
oh,
But now it's actually the
Entirety of Bugs Land.
no, the really nice gentleman who used to do the flag ceremony.
Oh, Gunny.
I can't remember his name.
Gunny.
I'm trying to find it.
Gunny.
Yeah. I'm sad to see him go because he was a baller and
Yeah.
that was stupid.
Actually, I forgot about that. Sad to see you go for me. Fun for everyone. Disneyland has reduced the amount of fun for people.
Oh.
I don't think Disneyland is as fun anymore because you're trying to stretch your dollar per hour, payout or bonus or whatever, right? You're trying to maximize how much time you're in the park and it's go, go, go all the time. For me, seeing the prices, I was stressed out spending money there.
Yeah,
it's not as fun for me. It's not easy for me to spend money now because everything is so expensive.
the value has changed.
The values change a lot. All right, let's move on to my favorite category. Enough already.
Wait, did you do Terrence's?
No, I didn't do Terrence's. Bless you. Sad to see you go. Don Lusk, the last animator from the golden age of Disney, passed away this year.
Oh,
That's all he had.
okay.
Now for my favorite category, enough already. Bev, enough already.
Price gouging.
Yeah.
Stop pricing people out. Exactly what you were just saying. Stop taking the fun out of it.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
And I understand, so our friend Charlie says, well, they're a corporation. They have stockholders. They're beholden by law to do what's best for the company. But it doesn't mean that they have to just raise prices on everything
Twice
every
a
year,
year.
all the time.
Yeah, and trust me, they were making money before they raised those prices. So I just don't think it's true to Walt's vision to make the prices so high that families who are not, struggling, families that are doing okay financially, going to Disneyland is a struggle for them. That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, I love that Disney does like to trot out quotes from Walt about Disneyland's supposed to change. This is what Walt said. But there's a quote that I think we mentioned a year or two ago about Disneyland is always going to be a place for families and it shouldn't matter the how much it costs or whatever. Like it should
Yeah.
never be about the money chase. It should be about providing family entertainment. I'm paraphrasing. No one ever mentions that quote.
Right.
No.
Right? So
No.
anyway, Taryn, enough already, huh?
Stop watering down pirates.
Oh.
They did
Hot
it a
takes
few
from
years
Taryn.
ago. Now they've done it with the redhead.
Mm-hmm.
And are they even pirates anymore? I don't know.
You know what? And I honestly don't like the new redhead scene.
No,
I think we
it
talked
doesn't
about it
make
on the last
sense.
show. It doesn't make sense, and it just feels weird.
Dirty. It feels dirty.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Yeah, they're like woke disruptors of the Caribbean.
That's
Yes,
right. That's
exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Jeremy, enough already.
So I'm going to go away from Disneyland Anaheim for a bit. Enough already with Disneyland Paris's Phantom Manor refurbishment.
Oh.
The Parisian
Oh.
haunted mansion initially closed for refurbishment in December of 2017. The intent
Wow.
that it would reopen in fall of 2018. In July, the park announced that the attraction would reopen in early 2019, and it was then again announced that it would not now open until April of 2019. So 2017, 2018, this refurbishment has touched 3 years.
Did they just
Wow.
bulldoze it, and are they just building a whole new?
Seriously.
A whole new
thing
ride?
better be Good.
Whole new Yeah, what could they possibly be doing for that long?
They
I don't
uncovered
know.
human remains.
Seriously.
Telling people.
I
Yeah.
don't think it took this long to build Disneyland Paris.
It definitely didn't take that long to build Disneyland.
No.
Right.
That's crazy.
So enough with it.
Yeah, all right. Terrence says, enough already about greed. 25% increase on some tickets and passes, peak day versus regular day ticket prices, and no salary increase for non-exempt employees. It's not right,
It's not right.
says
He's
the
right.
social justice warrior in Terrence. I said enough already with Star Wars, and I think I even said this last year. If I was sick of Star Wars last year, I am sick of Star Wars this year. Just enough already. I know Iger's already said they're going to pump the brakes a little bit, but they came out with, 3 movies in 3 years? It's just, I don't know, man. It's too much. What's your best Disney dollar spent in 2018?
I don't know who you're talking to. Me?
I'm thinking. Let's go you, Bev.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Just picked it out of the blue. I don't know.
Yeah. The minimum wage increase.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Wow.
I wasn't.
Social justice warrior Bev.
Seriously.
Go ahead,
Now I
Taryn.
feel like a jerk.
You are a jerk.
My best Disney dollar spent was at the Disneyland Hotel. I realized it's a lot of money, but
Truth.
that hotel is so cool.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood the question. I didn't know that it was.
No,
best
it can be
dollar.
whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Jeremy.
Mine is the Tropical Hideaway, which is just about to open this week at the Enchanted Tiki Room in Disneyland. I think this is a good dollar spent because probably didn't cost too much to do. It's going to be maximizing a heretofore unused space. It'll get people out of that congested area, and it's another food option. So I'm loving it, and it capitalizes on the whole tiki trend.
Oh, heretofore with shall be known as.
Well, heretofore thou shalt not.
Oh. Terrence says, renovation of World of Color. That nighttime spectacular is absolutely amazing and will once again be a huge draw when it reopens. I don't think that they were really renovating it. It broke and they're fixing it.
Can you repeat? Can you reread what Terrence just said?
Yeah.
Renovation of World of Color. That nighttime spectacular is absolutely amazing and will, once again, be a huge draw when it reopens.
So that's his best Disney dollar spent is fixing a broken ride.
Well,
Or attraction.
he's saying renovation of World of Color,
Oh, okay.
but I think he's confused. I don't think they were being renovated. I think they were doing maintenance on it and it broke.
Yeah, she broke.
Yeah. So, but
Okay.
repairing World of Color, he says now.
Cool.
So I just
Okay.
changed it for
He
him.
does love that.
Help the kid out a little bit. Best Disney dollar spent. Oh no, best Disney dollar spent. Here we go. If you have a new kid, your best Disney dollar spent is on the Photo Pass, where you can get all the photos for free.
The Max Pass.
Yes, thank you, the Max Pass. If you don't have a kid,
Who cares?
the best. Then I don't want to talk to you actually ever again. I'm very elitist that way. The best dollar Disney has spent, if you don't have a kid, is Star Wars Land. It's going to be a huge draw. It's going to suck the people. It's going to be a money suck. It's going to be a people suck. It's going to be huge. That's the best money they could have spent. Let's go the worst Disney dollar spend. Okay. How about that? And of course, it could be whatever you want. It could be your personal money, Disney's personal money. I'm going to start out the World of Disney store revamp.
Oh, yeah.
In downtown Disney.
That's a good one.
It looks like an upscale Target.
It's a turd sandwich.
Seriously, it's
I don't
so
like it.
bad.
Turd Ferguson. Jeremy, go ahead, please. What's the worst Disney dollar spent?
Spending $299 to preview Pixar Pier for 6 hours the day before it opens to the general public.
That is a
use
really
of
good
money.
one.
I still want to talk to people who did that. I really do. If you did that, I want to talk to you because I want to know if it was worth it or not.
I also want to slap you and ask you if I can borrow some money.
Mark Zuckerberg was the only one there, and he says,
A solid eh.
Yeah. Taryn, go ahead, please.
Mine was just Pixar Pier.
Really?
To counter
Well, okay.
counter what Terrence said, the analogy I came up with is it reminds me of those girls who wear a ton of makeup but actually look way better when they aren't wearing any. I think the whole thing was unnecessary. I think all they did was put a little lipstick on the buildings that were already there. I don't need it. I think the best part, honestly, is the chicken place that looks like a chicken box.
Yes, you can
That's
get
the only cool
get
part.
chicken tendies now, or not tendies, they're wings.
I think they're wings or
You
something.
get chicken wings in the to-go box is the shape of a chicken. I guess it's from some movie. I don't even know.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Like we were hanging out with Kyle and Greg's like walking around, you know,
box of chicken.
Yeah, had a couple beers. Here's a box of chicken wings, just eating wings. Like, where did you get wings? And why is it shaped like like a chicken? It's like, dude, from the box and the kiosk or whatever is a box of chicken.
Yeah.
It's a giant box of chicken, and then you get a miniature version of the thing. It's very meta.
That's the only cool part. Everything else is just,
You're right.
I think a total waste of money.
All right. Bev, go ahead, please.
Solo.
Ah, yes.
Oh, it's YOLO.
No, it's solo.
She only lived once. Solo. That was the worst Disney spend.
It's the worst Disney dollar spent.
All right. Let's see what Terrence has to say. The worst Disney dollar spent, Disney Plus.
Huh.
I think that the fee fatigue for people that subscribe to Netflix and Hulu already will outweigh the benefits of having a Disney-specific streaming service.
And I mean, really,
Yeah.
like, how much are you going to watch on that thing?
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be like paying for ABC Family or something.
Don't people do that?
I may or may not.
That's right.
I mean, you know what? They're
I
going to make
subscribe to stupid. Like, I definitely have a Masterpiece Theater subscription. I don't know if we've talked about
Masterpiece
this
Theater
yet.
is great.
What was the
That's
last
okay.
thing on Masterpiece
And
Theater you
Hallmark.
watched? Either of you?
Victoria. It's on now.
Totes Victoria.
Oh.
Downton Abbey.
Is that Masterpiece
Downton.
Theater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, everyone relax. I don't need bloodshot eyes staring at me, please. Jeremy, did you already do worst Disney dollar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pixar Pier preview.
Thank you. Let's go to predictions now
This is
for
my
this
favorite
current
part.
year, 2019. This is it, folks. This is the big finale. Let's have Bev go first, please.
My 2019 prediction is that more of the people who are close to us, our circle of friends,
Okay.
will start to experience Disney fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's already
I could-
happened.
I could see.
I mean, but like,
Like we're going to the park in like a week and a half, and I couldn't care less.
I mean, like, remember the other day when I was talking about like passes? After that conversation, I was like, I don't want passes. I don't want to go back to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap.
Right. I don't
like,
care
I
anymore.
don't care.
Yeah.
So I feel like other people are gonna they're gonna hit that.
To be honest with you, if I'm completely honest, the only reason I feel obligated
Is because of this show.
is because of the show.
Totally. Same.
If we weren't doing this show, I would be totally fine with not going back to Disneyland. 80% because we were just there, but well, 60% and 40% because I don't like supporting companies who just squeeze that rock for blood, man. But it's neither here nor there. Taryn, go ahead, please.
I don't like this conversation.
Oh. Jeremy's upset.
Well,
I'm
Jeremy,
worried.
you know,
This has got now I'm worried.
don't be worried.
I'm
Don't be
upset.
worried.
Don't be
I'm
worried,
upset.
Murray.
We still
Because
have,
I feel like the show, I don't mean to get off on a tangent here, but I feel like the show is a product of your passion. And so if you're going there because of the show, that makes me worried.
I see. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
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 Taryn,
Sure.
prediction.
Yes,
moving
Taryn,
on.
predictions.
My prediction for 2019 is that even with the opening of Star Wars Land, I predict that they have finally priced out too many people and will have lower attendance numbers than they are expecting. I don't think Star Wars Land will be a flop by any means, but I don't believe it's going to be a big enough draw to support the crazy prices that they have come up with.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Here's Terrence's. We will get some plans for the Marvel area in DCA that will encompass everything from the old Bugs Land to the backstage area. It will look amazing. I like how that's his prediction. And it will be anchored by Guardians of the Galaxy as well as a Captain America roller coaster. He thinks that they're going to put a roller coaster in there. They're not going to put a roller coaster in that area, dude. They're not going to do it.
I don't see where it could possibly
Where would
go.
it go?
Well, they would. I mean, because the plan is they're going to gut everything from like the old Muppet Theater all the way through to Hollywoodland, so the Beverly Hotel's going
That's rude.
through Bugs Land. But
I will chain myself to the Beverly Hotel.
but I think that whole area would be, and correct me if I'm wrong, it would be almost as big as Star Wars Land. And I feel like
I don't know how many White Houses that is.
and I feel like a Marvel area that big is going to overtake the whole soul of DCA, which is kind of fractured anyways. But I don't think it's going to matter. Also, I don't think anyone cares as much as they think people do about Marvel.
About Marvel.
People are going to see movies right now because they're just going to see the movie. I don't think that if you stop making Marvel movies, people are going to be like, "Oh my god," and they're going to riot in the streets. They're going to be like, okay, that's cool, and they'll forget about it.
I also don't
No one cares.
agreed. I also don't think that Disney's going to take on another huge land development.
That would be a little crazy right now.
This maybe that'll happen in 5 years, but I don't see that happening this year.
No,
or
because
plans even leaked or whatever it's called.
Well, because
I don't think that's
they
a
also
real-
have that theater there where they did Aladdin, but then now they do Frozen. Are they going to get rid of the theater? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. That was an expensive theater.
I think Terrence is crazy on this one. All right, everyone's gone, right? It's my turn. I'm the last one.
Jeremy hasn't gone.
Jeremy, what is your prediction for 2019, my friend?
I think on the back of the Pixar Pier preview at $300, there will be more outrageously expensive soft openings that you will have to pay for. They will not be free anymore.
I agree. I agree with that.
Gosh.
And you know what's really unfortunate about that is that used to be a perk for having an annual pass. Like, didn't you guys got to
We did Cars
Land?
Land.
We won for being
It was like a
annual
lottery
pass,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just picked like random
like,
people. And
there-
it was for free.
That's not going to happen anymore.
It was a multi-night thing, and it was amazing. And I remember talking about it on the show. I think we did a blog post on it. Like,
super cool.
it was a really cool, immersive thing, and you felt special. You felt like your dollar was appreciated.
was valued.
Yes, and now if you're not there, someone else is going to come take your place.
Somebody will pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
My prediction for 2019: you will find meaner people in the parks.
Oh yeah, probably.
People are going to be more mean. I think people are going to feel more entitled based on their dollar spend.
Well, and I also think that they're just going to be angry because they spent so much to be there.
Right.
Right.
You're going to get the people who are there for 3 or 4 days, who have now are spending 20% more on average than they were this time last year.
They're
To
irritated.
go, the hotel rates are,
and
are
it's
crazy.
not
The
just
food is
Disney.
crazy. The merch is all crazy, and you're going to have, like I was saying before, you're going to have people. I think. By the way, I'm doing the thumb in the crux, or the
You're doing the
crux
politician
of the
thumb.
politician thing. Yeah, in the bend of the index finger, and doing the Bill Clinton is really what it is.
Right.
With this motion, I just want to be very clear that is the only. But people are going to be mad. And they're going to be grouchy, and they're going to want to stay in the parks. Whereas before, we would be celebrating the fact that you can leave the park and go back to the hotel room and take a break and whatever. I don't think you're going to see people doing that as much because they want to maximize their dollar, and that's going to make them crankier and grumpier.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
Same.
You're going to get longer stretches of overcrowding. sometimes during like the afternoon, maybe it kind of chills out or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen as often, which is a great prediction because there's no way to test it. So, I win on that one just regardless. I think you're going to have less interest in Disney movies. This is a long one. I don't know why. Even though they're still going to make tons of money, I don't think they're going to resonate like the originals. That's my opinion. And then overall, the brand as a whole will do amazingly well. Star Wars Land combined with a 6 or so guaranteed multi-million-dollar generating movies will see stock go on a nice upward trend. But overall, people in the parks are going to be more miserable.
All right.
It's my bleak.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I don't. I mean, because I guess that's how I'm going to feel, and maybe I'm just projecting. But yeah.
Well, we're not going to be going anymore, so you won't need to feel that way.
Well, we have passes, so we have to go.
No, but we have to go now, but
Yeah.
we're not going to go after that ever again.
Probably
When do
not.
your passes expire?
November.
Yeah, November.
Oh, we have.
So
plenty
yeah,
of
we
time.
have plenty of time.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, here's my thinking. Here's my suggestion. I want you to just hear me out, and you don't have to answer or decide.
All right.
But here's my thought.
Tell me.
Okay, so you know how sometimes you have a song and you love that song and you hear it over and over and over again, and then you kind of get sick of it.
Yeah.
Even though you still love it, you're just like, I don't want to hear that right now.
Mhm.
But then someone comes along and does a cover of it, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this again. And then you want to go back and listen to the original too. Here's what I think. You guys need different Disney. I think maybe you need to take a year off from Disneyland and do, this is the year we go to Disney World again. Or maybe this is the year we go on a Disney cruise. And like do Disney, but take it from a different perspective and get the different twist. And then you might, one, discover new things, but also have a different perspective on your home park.
I agree, and us having taken such a large break before our last trip, it did kind of reinvigorate. And don't get me wrong, I'm just complaining right now. I'm sure we'll go back 12 times like we always do. But I would love to do that. With right now with the kid the way she is, I don't know. I feel like flying with her or whatever. But it'd be cool to go to Alani.
I was just going to say, can we take an Earzup trip to Alani?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, let's do that. I don't know who's going to pay for it. Maybe Jeremy will pay for it.
Perfect.
He'll float us one of his Teslas. I don't know. Jeremy doesn't have a Tesla. It's fine.
No, I don't have a car, period.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's it is what it is. But anyway, that's the year-end review for 2018.
That was a depressing year in review.
Why?
I
Because
didn't
we're all
think
just
so.
kind of negative
It was a
people in
little-
general.
Well, yeah, kind of.
No, that's too bad.
I didn't think mine was negative.
I don't know. You know what? I like to think that we're realists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows out there. There's a lot of people out there who are just like Disney can do no wrong and everything happens for a reason. Everything's fine and whatever. And I just don't want to be that person. I like to look at things realistically. And in my opinion, Disney is kind of screwing over the people who go to the parks and they're chasing the dollar. And I get it. They're a business. I totally understand all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But when is enough?
But that's exactly why I made that prediction. Like, I thought a long time about it because I really do think they think this is going to be this giant thing, which is why they're charging these huge prices right now. And
Yeah.
I think people love Star Wars. I don't think they're going to love it enough.
No, well, it is odd timing that Iger came out a few months ago and says we're not going to release as many movies now, while in the middle of construction of the land dedicated to Star Wars. Like they really hit that trail running.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how this next year goes for them.
Me too.
I wonder if they pulled back on the movies to create more interest in the land.
No, I think that they were just tired of Solo was a flop for them, even though it made money. No one cared about it.
Oh no.
And I think they were like, maybe it's fatigue, but also I don't know. I think the Star Wars movies weren't as good. The 3 new ones or 2 new ones or whatever. I didn't think that they were very good.
I've literally fallen asleep in every single one of the new
Yeah,
ones.
they're not good.
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Earzup Disney News.
Got some good news, and not all of it is about ticket prices, everybody. So everyone just calm down. Audi and Disney want to spice up your Uber ride with VR.
What?
I thought this was a really cool article. This is the kind of stuff that I want Disney to be working on, man. This guy from The Verge, he says, I was in the back seat of a new Audi e-tron at a racetrack on the outskirts of Las Vegas. It's one of the first few nights of the 2019 Consumer Electronics Show. There was an Oculus Rift in the car, and the experience he had, he said, titled Rocket's Rescue Run, which of course is from Guardians of the Galaxy, was the result of a deal between Audi, Disney, Marvel, and a new startup called HoloRide. It's kind of strange, very German, but whatever. Rocket's Rescue Run is HoloRide's first public demo. It was created in collaboration with Disney's Games and Interactive Experience. It's kind of cool. As HoloRide sees it, Rocket's Rescue Run, which is hard to say. I'm a trained professional.
Rocket's Rescue Run.
Rocket's Rescue, well, for me, because my face is deformed, I don't know, is also a potential answer to a series of questions that crop up now and then. What do you do with your time as a passenger in a ride-hailing car? Do you strike up a conversation with the driver or
Never.
the people that you're sharing it with? Or do you look at your phone and pray for the day that Lyft releases a quiet mode, whatever that means? And what happens to these questions as self-driving cars start to come into the mix? Mobility as we know it today will radically change. HoloRider co-founder Niles Wolney says the infrastructure will change, the architecture or vehicles will change, the way we access mobility will change, and most importantly, the experience will change. So the passenger moves into the focus, and content, especially entertainment, will be a major driving force for the mobility experience of the future. So that's kind of cool. Disney is really working on some next level stuff. That's a 4D chess right there, dude. What do you do in an Uber? Can you imagine being in an Uber for 20 minutes and you're just playing a VR video game and you throw them in some guy's
Seriously,
face?
that's all I keep thinking. Like, you were describing it, and I felt like I was getting car sick. Like, I just think this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
that e-tron is a nice car.
Yeah, dude. An Audi. I'm going to get Audi'd.
Oh, stop it.
All right, I'll try to do that. This is from Disney World. Title is Disney World's new $25 ice cream sundae.
What?
$25 ice cream sundae.
No, I'm fat and I wouldn't pay $25 for a sundae.
This better be huge.
It's a Ralph's family challenge
Better
from
be amazing.
Ralph Breaks the Internet. The article says, you don't usually have to look that hard to get a good sugar rush at Walt Disney World, but this month the Florida theme park has made things even easier. In celebration of Wreck-It Ralph 2, the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor on Main Street, USA, in the Magic Kingdom has started selling Vanellope's Ice Cream Sundae, and it looks like a real winner. Jeremy, I expect you to go and get this, by the way.
I'll tweet it.
Please do, and then
I'll
throw it at
Instagram.
someone. Yeah.
It doesn't even look very big.
Vanellope's Ice Cream Sundae. Okay, shared hive mind.
Okay, but
If you stand too close to either one of these girls, the Borg will assimilate you. The Vanellope's Ice Cream Sundae costs $25. It features 5 hand scoops of ice cream in whatever flavor you desire.
how the hell else would you scoop it?
5 scoops. Well, like, I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. But 5 scoops of ice cream? 5.
Hold your
Who
horses.
needs 5?
Keep talking, sir.
Thank you. Whipped cream, fruity cereal, so like Fruity Pebbles maybe or whatever.
Gross.
I know, right? Chocolate candy, hot fudge, and cherries. If that isn't enough for you, the entire thing is topped with a white chocolate treat adorned with the face of Vanellope von Schweet's BFF Wreck-It Ralph, and it comes in a souvenir trophy bowl adorned with the phrase Ralph's Family Challenge.
I want it.
This
Okay.
person says, so you can always remember that time you went to the Magic Kingdom and ate basically an entire quart of ice cream.
At Ghirardelli, you can get something called the Earthquake for $29, and it's 8 scoops of ice creams.
Ice creams.
All of the ice creams.
All right.
Shut up, Jeremy. But it comes with all of those things, but I guarantee you it's better and it looks better. It doesn't have Fruity Pebbles.
But does it come in
I
a...
don't know.
First of all, it's fruity cereal. Second of all, does it come in a souvenir trophy bowl adorned with the phrase Ralph's Family Challenge?
No, it comes in a pie pan because that's how big it is.
I don't know. This thing's growing on me.
Well, they go, geez. They go on to say this massive sundae reminds you of something else at Walt Disney World. You're not mistaken. Beaches and Cream at Disney's Beach Club Resort has been selling the infamous kitchen sink. Oh my God, that is too much. Bev showed me a photo of the earthquake. It looks disgusting.
You're wrong.
Disney's Beach Club Resort has been selling the infamous kitchen sink sundae for years, which cost $34. It features vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, cookies and cream, and mint chocolate chip ice cream, and every topping they have, which includes marshmallow, strawberry, pineapple, peanut butter, hot fudge, caramel or chocolate syrup, topped with whipped cream, toasted almonds, and a cherry.
I love it.
No.
That looks amazing.
Also, in the picture, there's like 10 cherries.
There's a lot, all the cherries.
I love
Jeez.
it. This is cool.
Let's go down a list of Disney movies being released theatrically in 2019. I always like these lists. I don't know why.
too. I get disappointed, and then I get excited, and then I get disappointed.
Right. And then like,
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah. I'm never going to see any of them because I don't know. Captain Marvel, March 8th. Set in the 1990s, Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel is an all-new adventure from a previously unseen period in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Can I just ask how depressing it is that movies are now set in the 90s? That's
true.
considered a period film.
That's true.
That is kind of like
Yeah,
the
like what is
new-
he watching? Murphy Brown.
First of all, it's a she. So there, starring Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, Jimon Honsu,
Jamon.
Lee Pace, some people basically nobody knows. Oh, and Jude Law.
I love Jude Law.
The air literally got sucked out of the room. I almost died. I couldn't. Got suffocated.
I stood next to him once. He was wearing a green velvet jacket. It was beautiful.
Did you?
Where was that?
Did you reach out and touch it and go, "Is this felt?"
I literally almost
goes,
did.
And he goes, "No," and you go, "It is now."
Oh my god.
That was like
Oh,
classic middle school, like
jeez.
flirting with girls.
Back in the
Wow.
90s?
Is that shirt? Yeah. Is that shirt felt? It is now.
Oh,
And then they go, I don't
wow.
understand. And you go, you talk to her. Dumbo, March 29th. It looks cool, of course, from director Tim Burton, which I believe is how you pronounce it. So that'll be cool. I'm excited about it, man. The circus owner is played by Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell is in it. Someone called Finley Hobbins. Dunno.
Googling.
Penguins by Disney Nature is releasing on April 17th, which is a coming-of-age story about a penguin named Steve, who joins millions of fellow males in the icy Antarctic spring on a quest to build a suitable nest. It's a documentary, so it's like a thing, like a real,
Like
like
March of
they're
the
like real
Penguins?
penguins.
Aren't there enough penguin documentaries?
You would think so, but apparently not. Then back to Marvel, we have Avengers Endgame coming out on April 26th.
Does that mean it's the last one?
I friggin' hope so, man. Well, no, because if it's the last one, then Terrence can't get his roller coaster. Then Aladdin on May 24th, which just looks terrible.
I kind of want to see it, though.
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know. Whatever. I kind of want to see it just to laugh at Will Smith, but that's just me. Directed by Guy Ritchie, of course. Toy Story 4.
That
which
I'm
again,
excited about.
if you haven't seen the Key and Peele teaser trailer for Toy Story 4, hilarious. Go see it. Toy Story is always going to knock it out of the park. There's not been a terrible Toy Story. I think
No.
Toy Story 2 was kind of okay, but still it was good and
It's still
entertaining. I
good.
still enjoyed it. So Toy Story, you take that to the bank. dude.
Jeremy, have you seen Toy Story? All the Toy Stories?
I have seen none of the Toy Stories.
Oh, of course.
I've only seen one of the Toy Stories. I've
Oh
only seen
my-
the first one.
You guys are so broken. The third one is the best, one of the best movies ever.
That's what I hear.
I've heard that also.
Jeremy, when you come out for one
You're
of
gonna
the
have
two
to come out
shows,
for a month.
yeah, that's right. You're gonna stay for a week, and all of the time, like we're not gonna go see the sights in San Francisco or like do cool stuff or go hiking or go drinking or whatever. We're gonna be locked in a dungeon, essentially a video dungeon, and I'm gonna Clockwork Orange you.
Clockwork Orange. He doesn't
Pry
he
your
doesn't know that
eyelids
What does
reference.
that mean?
He has no idea what that means. Oh.
I knew you were making that reference, and I was like, I don't think he's going to know what that means.
He has no clue.
Listen to this kid cackling.
Ugh,
I love him.
you're so broken.
Okay. Well, anyways, let's continue, please. The Lion King, of course, on July 19th. It's coming out. That'll be
Seen
cool.
it.
Thank you.
There was a whole thing, and I don't know if we talked about it on the show or not because it's been so long, but there's a lot of backlash against Disney calling it live action.
Yeah.
It's not live action.
No.
It's literally all CG. So, there you go.
It's just a different animation.
Something
Yeah,
called...
I posted a really great Instagram with the cowardly lion from The Wizard of Oz. And I said, this is a live action Lion King.
Jeremy with the zings, dude.
Winning.
Oh,
Man, I love that tweet that you posted about the ride times where you were basically just railing on Frozen because Frozen was 25 minutes and what did you say? Like something like nondescript car ride from the 90s. It was like
that was
60
that
minutes.
whole Iger thing that went down this weekend on Twitter.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Artemis Fowl. Something called Artemis Fowl.
sounds familiar, but I.
It's based on the beloved book by Eoin Colfer. What does the people's names make? One. Eoin. Eoin Colfer.
Artemis what pile?
Foul.
Foul. Artemis Pyle is something completely different. Is a fantastical spellbinding adventure that follows the journey of a 12-year-old genius, Artemis Fowl, a descendant of a long line of criminal masterminds, as he seeks to find his father who has mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Our favorite Josh Gad is in it, but also Judi Dench, so that's cool too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't actually know who that is.
Dame Judy.
I mean, I know the name.
Googling.
Jim, no, don't do it now because she's going to get distracted and forget what's
She's
going
in
on.
the 007.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
The
Let's not-
007. I haven't seen that.
That's not. I got my own Jeremy to worry about here. Frozen 2 is coming out November 22nd. Star Wars Episode 9 is coming out December 20th. So that is your rundown of what's coming this year for Disney.
Was that only one Star Wars movie?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Impressive.
I don't know if you guys have heard the phrase Hakuna Matata before.
Means no worries for the rest of your days.
It's our
Pretty much.
problem-free philosophy.
Oh, so you have heard it?
Yeah.
What is it?
Hakuna
Matata.
You had to finish the joke.
Yeah, I know.
The entertainment giant, which of course in this case is Disney, has been besieged by a campaign against its trademark of the Swahili phrase from its animated blockbuster movie The Lion King. Following Disney's promotion of its upcoming live-action version, more than 180,000 people wasted their time signing an online petition. I added that part in, accusing the entertainment of giant of cultural appropriation for trademarking the phrase. The petition said companies should not be able to register trademarks on long-used phrases, quote, they didn't invent. But critics are not taking into account the nature and limits of trademark rights, attorneys told Bloomberg Law. This is from Bloomberg Law. Intellectual property lawyers say Disney had the right to apply for the trademark, which it did when it released the original Lion King movie in 1984 for use on T-shirts. Patent and Trademark Office awarded the trademark registration in 2003. Companies can, and usually do, register words or phrases they didn't invent as trademarks, and Disney cannot stop anyone from using the phrase except to sell T-shirts. So it's weird that people got all up in arms and spent time on a website signing their name without actually doing any research. So the only thing that they're trying to do is stop people from selling Hakuna Matata T-shirts. You can still use it. You can get a back tattoo of it. Do whatever you want with it. It's fine. It's not cultural appropriation. They just want to make more money.
Well,
with
it's
it.
just when you get the Hakuna Matata tattoo on your back, you just have to have that TM
That's
next
right.
to it.
TM. God, now I just want to
Well,
watch.
I would be
Love
interested
Guru.
to know what jurisdiction the Copyright Office has. So if the Copyright Office, is that a U.S. government entity? Because the U.S. government can't tell you that in England you can't do that, or in South Africa you can't do that.
There are universal bodies. I know trademark. I don't understand. Copyright. No, other way around. Copyright
Yeah.
I don't get, but trademark. No. Patents, I understand. You have to file with those specific countries. I don't know if that's the same with trademarks.
But
Okay.
either way,
Okay.
it's my problem with this whole thing, and there's two parts of this. My first problem is that they are complaining now. The movie is 10 years old.
Right. They applied in 1994.
they applied.
They applied for the
Oh,
trademark
yeah.
in 1994.
So why now?
I don't know.
Because it's coming up again. Like
Because
it's
it's coming
just
up again,
it's silly to me. Second, anybody that signs a petition, you're wasting your time. Like
Right.
a petition like that, a change.org, they're not going anywhere. It's just your ability to free your guilt about feeling angry about something.
True.
Like you're doing something. You're not doing anything. I'm sorry.
Zimbabwean activist Shelton Mapala launched the anti-Disney petition in December, calling the trademark, quote, an assault on the Swahili people and Africa as a whole. He said he respected Disney as an entertainment institution, but called the mark, quote, predicated purely on greed, and likened it to a colonial legacy of pillaging African art. That's pretty heavy stuff. A Disney representative said in a statement that its Hakuna Matata trademark, quote, has never and will not prevent individuals from using the phrase. That's not how trademarks work.
Yeah.
Oh, I own Hakuna Matata. You can never say it.
Right.
You really can't. Those stormtroopers will be there. Disney has not sued over the use of Hakuna Matata, according to Bloomberg Law records. Two other entities, a wedding planner and a supplements company, have registered Hakuna Matata marks in other areas without opposition from Disney. So I don't understand necessarily what that means. You can't have like Hakuna Matata like mini thins, or I don't know, man. It seems like weird. Why isn't anybody going after a wedding planner trying to register Hakuna Matata?
I don't know.
You can buy a Hakuna Matata t-shirt on Amazon.
Oh, you trust me. You can buy anything on Amazon. I want to start wearing like counterfeit, like Gucci and Louis
Why?
Vuitton. I don't know. Be like stuff that's like purely it's like incorrect spelling
Oh my god.
counterfeit, because I think that'd be
Oh,
great.
that'd be so amazing.
Wouldn't it?
So weird.
Like the G is facing in the wrong direction.
Or 3 C's and 2 I's. Like that's what I want to wear. That's my jam. So anyway, doing research on that story, which is odd, I came across this article on africanews.com. It's called "Did Disney Steal Hakuna Matata in Africa?" And I feel like it is written in a different language and then translated to English, so it's a little fragmented, but it counters some of the stuff that the Bloomberg article said, and I don't know if it's important or not, but I just think it's neat. Hakuna Matata, a magnificent phrase used in the soundtrack of the old-time favorite animation movie Lion King.
Old time?
That's a sentence.
That's depressing.
Yeah. Magnificent to the point that Disney Studios decided to trademark the phrase Hakuna Matata in 2003 so as to reserve all rights to it. This means that the company can sue any individual or company that attempts its usage. That's not correct. Like that's just factually incorrect. However, since this declaration by Disney Studios last July, several media outlets in East Africa have raised their voices to accuse the company of cultural appropriation. Hakuna Matata is not a phrase invented for the purpose of the film. It is a Kiswahili. Kiswahili? I don't know. But it's a different spelling of the word than the Bloomberg article, so I don't know. And the expression means no problem. It doesn't apparently mean no worries. And I'm going to go ahead and trust Africa News on the translation of Hakuna Matata, if you don't mind, please, very much. So there's
no
that.
worries flows better in the song than no problem.
It means no problems. It's the same thing.
It still
dude.
kind of works.
They just didn't know. So anyway, whatever. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Kiswahili is the most widely spoken language in East Africa. It's the official language of Kenya, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Uganda. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, man. Sorry, Jeremy. I didn't mean to bore you.
Sorry. Oh, what was this? What were you saying?
Are we still doing this? I thought the show was over.
Am I still on?
This is
What
from,
else?
a couple more things, real fast. Going too long now as it is. What are you guys doing right now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had turned on my computer was making noise, and I was
Got
like,
it.
well, why do I hear two voices?
You mean your employer's computer?
Wow, dude. You can make a good boss, Jeremy.
Sick burn, dude.
Classic own. This is from StarWars.com, and it's a little weird because I don't understand what's going on until sort of the end. They're releasing a new story, a new book, actually, apparently. In this newest adventure, Star Wars, it's called Pirate's Price. A new book by Lou Anders and illustrated by Annie Wu as part of the Flight of the Falcon series. someone called Hondo Onaka. Hondo Onaka is back in the spotlight, talking his way out of things, regaling feared bounty hunter Bazine Natal with stories of his heroic deeds aboard the famed Millennium Falcon. So it's like a Falcon prequel, I think, like a back history on the ship, the Millennium Falcon, right? But here's why it's important. Excuse me. As many Star Wars fans and readers already know, soon you'll be able to visit the planet Batuu and the village of Black Spire Outpost at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Learn about this exotic Outer Rim destination and pick your own copy up for additional stories, including Hondo's run-in with the mighty Wookiee Chewbacca, the pilot and scoundrel Han Solo, and more. The story begins in the Outer Rim at the Galaxy's Edge on the planet of Batuu. So if you want some backstory on Batuu and the Outer Rim and all that kind of stuff and what's going on in Star Wars land, pick up Pirate's Price from Star Wars and Disney and all those kind of people. If anybody cares, I don't know. I wanted to talk about the price increases a little bit, but I don't really know if I care anymore.
I mean, what is there to say?
I mean, we did talk a lot about it.
Well, yeah,
They're
I'll
lame.
just here, since the Orange County Register is not letting me read this article anyway for free. Basically, the article was about if you're angry about the price increases, just don't go.
Right.
That's the summation. Blame the fans for the price increases because we keep giving them the dollars.
That's true.
If you don't like it, then you don't go, and then they'll stop doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree or not. They were making some other points. It's very weird, but whatever. And then some weird Bob Iger story I don't want to read. We're out of it. We're done.
We're out of it.
We're out of it, Jeremy.
Let's peace out. It was great.
Oh, so Jeremy, you have to wake up in 2 hours now, right?
I have 3.5 hours actually.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
so you
Bev.
lied
Yeah.
earlier.
Or yeah, Taryn, whatever your name is. Hey, I do want to welcome. We have a new sponsor on the show. My very good friends at the 21st Amendment Brewery.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. The people at 2NA have been making some great beer for a long time. And, of course, you can also find them in DCA. Just want to let you guys know that. And Anaheim and the surrounding area.
That's cool.
Yeah, but here's from the 2NA. Let's listen in and read what the 2NA has to say. The 21st Amendment has been serving craft beer in the San Francisco Bay Area for 19 years. From their initial brew pub on 2nd Street, just 2 blocks from Giant Stadium, in San Francisco, to their production brewery and tap room across the bay in San Leandro, which is, I'm going to interject, amazing.
It's so cool.
If you're in the Bay Area
It's the
and
Disneyland of beer.
you're into beer, go to both, but San Leandro facility is amazing. Anyway, the 21st Amendment is now available in 29 states, including in and around the parks. Next time you're in San Francisco, visit the Brew Pub in San Francisco, obviously, and Tap Room in San Leandro for some great beers and good food. And be sure to ask for the 21st Amendment wherever you find good craft beer.
Awesome.
Yeah. So support the folks at the 2NA. Honestly, it's the best beer that you're going to find.
Yeah, I was
going to
say it's really
so good.
It's actually really nice that they're at Disneyland because I know them and I know them personally and I know the beer that they make and I know that no matter what I get, it's gonna be. I'm not gonna be like, why does this taste like that?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be surprised.
Right.
Yes.
Anytime that I see 2NA beer in DCA,
You go for it.
I'm buying it because I know it's going to be good. The quality is good, and
Yeah.
it's just that's the way it goes, man. And for those of you who are like down in the parks for like a week, there's a Bevmo like 2 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Just stock up.
Yep.
All right, I think that's it. Jeremy, do you have anything else to say?
I say, you know what? If you want to hear some great Disney music, why don't you visit spectraradio.us?
Perfect.
I think that's
Why
probably
don't you?
accurate.
I think I
Why
will.
don't you?
Why don't you? Shan't we? I don't know. Jeremy, thanks, man, for sticking around and helping us do the 2018 year in review.
It was fun as always. Looking forward to a great 2019.
Hell yeah. And again, thanks to Getaway Today for sponsoring today's episode. Whether you're traveling to Disneyland, Disney World, or beyond, head over to getawaytoday.com/earsup. Head over to the Patreon page. Become a Patreon. Support the show. Please, it means a lot to everybody here. Find us on social medias. I know Terrence is in the park. If anybody's listening live, you can tweet Terrence and do whatever to meet up with Terrence, and he'll buy you a churro, I'm sure. Meet up with Terrence this week, and I guarantee you he will buy you 5 churros.
Oh, jeez.
Do that for me, please. And that's it. That's all I got to say.
All right.
Tara and I will be in the parks in a week and a half or so. We'll post online.
Beverly's
Yeah.
never going back to the
Beverly's
park.
never going to the parks. It's fine. And that's the thing, man. After all the the hullabaloo and the smoke clears, we're still Disney Parks fan. It just kind of, no
It
one
hurts.
likes spending more money without making more money. You know what I
Yep.
mean? All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and until next time, we'll see you in the parks. Hi, Jeremy.